On Instablogs Global Report today, we have an exclusive report from Philippines where medical tourism is booming and people are selling kidneys for some quick money. This new industry is luring the poor people with massive incentive packages to donate their body parts. RCJ will tell us more on this later in the show. Moving ahead in the global report, let us go to the top stories first. Government crushes homosexuality in Tunisia. Uganda faces rise in acid attacks. Egypt lodges protest on Sadat film. And election arena boils up in Indonesia. Let us first move to Philippines, where poor are becoming prey to the thriving black market of organ trade. They are opting for organ donation in lack of job and livelihood assistance. RCJ reports from Philippines.
This is Grace Calderon, citizen journalist for Instablogs, reporting from the Philippines. Medical tourism is booming in the Philippines, with foreigners seeking organ transplants, especially kidneys. Middle Eastern nationals comprise 75% of the beneficiaries. This is the brave new world of transplant tourism, or human organ trafficking, a new growth industry in the Philippines. The World Health Organization has ranked the Philippines as one of the top 5 countries in the world for human organ trafficking, along with China, Pakistan, Egypt, and Colombia. Organ donors recruited from poor Filipino communities are paid $3,000 per kidney, but underground syndicates and illicit transplant surgeons make a killing on foreign patients who spend up to $115,000 for a kidney transplant.
Gays don't enjoy the same rights in Tunisia as they do in Europe or US. Homosexuality is censored here and considered as a threat to the social order. More updates from RCJ in Tunisia.
This is Alia Kibiri, citizen journalist reporting from Tunisia for Instablogs. While the world may be celebrating Gay Parade, Tunisia is struggling to even recognize homosexuality as natural. The practice of homosexuality is illegal in Tunisia, seen as a threat to social order. Article 230 of the Penal Code decrees imprisonment up to 3 years for sodomy. The numbers of homosexuals and transgender are not few, but the fear of government has forced them to remain secluded. Tunisian government censors the internet to ensure that gay-related content is not available to people. But people have started raising their voice against such draconian laws, and they want the draconian law to be repealed and a society without bias on sexual and orientation basis. These demands may not get fulfilled in the near future, but they may ensure that public stop seeing them as unnatural or evil.
In Uganda, there is no life without fear, leaving people with no time to heave a sigh of relief. Acid is the new lethal weapon for taking revenge in a country where victims do not even know what an acid is. RCJ tells us more on this from Uganda.
This is Okile Moses Abokra, citizen journalist for Instablogs from Uganda. Here in Uganda, fear of being vandalized is increasing with running an endless nightmare for boarding school students. Arson is on rampage, and in the last 2.5 months alone, over 43 schools have been razed by fires believed to be deliberately started by unknown criminals. Since then, there's no more life without fear as more schools get burnt day in, day out. Parents are living in fear of their children getting burnt in dormitories, and authorities here, despite several emergency meetings, have not yet established the motive behind the rampant school fires. The media is not yet spared either. 2 weeks ago, a local media house here known as the Red Pepper was gutted by fire after masked arsonists raided their offices. No arrests have been made so far, but the police investigations are going on to establish who these people are.
Egypt and Iranian rivalry took a new edge when former protested latter for airing a documentary about the 1981 assassination of President Anwar Sadat. More on this from RCJ in Egypt.
This is Rahman Abad, citizen journalist for Instablogs from Egypt. Egypt called on Iran's envoy in Cairo to lodge a formal protest over the airing in the Islamic Republic of Iran a documentary about the 1981 assassination of President Anwar Sadat. They are of the view that the documentary is instrumental in straining rapport between the two countries and depicting Iran's insensitivity towards Egypt, thus disturbing the positive development in relations between the two nations as well. The diplomatic ties between Egypt and Iran started deteriorating in the 80s, a year after the Islamic Revolution, protest of Egypt's recognition of Israel, its hosting of the post-Shah, and its support for Iraq during its 1980 to 1988 war with Iran.
Indonesian Election Commission has announced eligible political parties for April 2009 elections. It will decide the future of Indonesian democracy and the nation as a whole. Our CJ from Indonesia updates us on this.
Saya, citizen journalist for Instablogs from Jakarta. Finally, the long-awaited list has been announced. The Indonesian Election Commission has just announced the prospective political parties that will be eligible for April 2019 general election. It should be noted here that only party or coalition of parties that have at least 15% of seats in the parliament can field a candidate for presidency. Indonesian transition to democracy has been an up and down journey since like impeachment of a president, arrest of corrupt lawmakers, riots over a fuel price hike, problems of electricity supply have endlessly marked this process. But one thing should be noted here that Indonesia's transition process to democracy is something inevitable. The world is watching closely how democracy and Islam, the second largest religion in the world and the religion of the majority population in Indonesia, will hand in hand in Indonesia to achieve a common goal of creating a welfare society.
If you want your voice to be heard by millions, let Instablogs be the platform. For more details, you can contact us at cj@instablogs.com. This is all from the entire team of the Instablogs Global Report. See you again with more updates.